Hello, everybody, and welcome. I am absolutely delighted to have with me here today somebody who has been with us really energy wise since the very first excitement of EMO Energy in Motion back in the day. And this is Kim Bradley. Say hi to Kim Bradley, everybody.
Hi, good morning, everybody.
Yeah, Kim is living at the moment in beautiful Oxfordshire in the United Kingdom. And what Kim has done is rather than teach modern energy courses, is she's taken the modern energy knowledge out into the real world, as it were, out into the real world where people make real money and live real lives and do all the real things that people do, and has applied the principles of modern energy in the context of network marketing. And she's got lots of experience with that and has been very successful. And I'm really excited to hear about what she's done with it and how people have responded to that, and also her plans for the future on this level. So, yes, Kim, I'm going to just hand you over and say, just tell us what happened since 2016.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Sylvia. Yes, you're absolutely right. EMO is my favourite thing that I've ever learned in my life, and something that is a daily practice. And was a trainer in it for a fair few years after we met. Spoke at the conferences, of course. Thoroughly enjoyed the EMO conferences that we've been to, and I guess it was 10 years ago, actually. Sandra, who trained me in EMO in the first place, told me about a network marketing business that was based around a product that really spoke a lot to me at that time because of some family history things that we had going on. It was a health supplement. And to cut a long story short, I tried the product, fell in love with it, started telling people about it, didn't realise I was going to make a business out of it. But here I am 10 years later, still doing that, still loving
Wow.
it every day, and have a very large team, a couple of thousand people
Wow.
around the world. And we've got this incredible energy going on. We call ourselves the Heart to Heart team, and we represent people who care about people. And I just feel that there's a lot that could be said about the field of network marketing. There's certainly a few beliefs and paradigms around it, but I would say that we're doing it exceptionally well. And it's probably because an awful lot of energy work has been thrown into it for my own self, growing as a leader in this industry, which is primarily sales and marketing, and also being someone that can help the team, inspire the team, and elevate their life force and their energy output.
Well, at the very heart of it is a product that you need to love and believe in, isn't it? And
Yes,
if you have a health supplement that actually works for people and, makes them feel better, that's a good product. That's a wonderful thing. But I mean, what I'm thinking and seeing here, this is not just about network marketing, because the things that you've discovered with your team, that's just business. It's
yes,
sales.
yeah.
It's and sale. It's not just sales. It is business, isn't it? It's no good to make the sales if you don't keep the records and don't do your taxes. There's all sorts of things that play into that. So, yeah, how have you been employing modern energy in this context?
So you're absolutely right, and I think some people come. I mean, but people, particularly this, I suppose this type of business, because people are in business for themselves. It's their own business, even though they're part of a team.
Yeah.
So in this way, it's quite unique because it's not like going for a job where you're getting a job to be a sales representative or a marketing expert. So in this world that I am in, you have people who have never considered themselves a salesperson.
Yeah.
Um, And actually, that applies to a lot of therapists and a lot of different jobs. Actually, gardeners, you
All
name
self-employed, all self-employed people, artists, you know, dog trainers. I mean, any self-employed person, or people who turn wood or repair motorbikes.
quite right.
There's no self-employed person that doesn't have to market at some point.
Exactly right. But then they come with these belief systems that I don't like selling. I've never been good at selling. Um, and it's like a whole paradigm around them about
What,
sales.
selling is evil.
And it's like, but you've been selling all your life. I mean, selling is just what we do. It's like, for example, let's say, your partner wants something for dinner, or a takeaway, a specific takeaway. Now, there might be times where you're not bothered and you'll go along with the flow, but there might be times where you thought, I really don't feel like Chinese tonight. I want Indian. So what do? You
Sell him the
sell
Indian.
the benefits of having Indian rather than Chinese, because you've decided that's what you want. That's what you want. So
Yeah.
we sell our ideas, our concepts.
I've got an example from yesterday. Alex bought an outboard engine that for cheap, and once we opened it up and looked at it, it had loads and loads of problems. So it was a question of repairing it or getting a new one. And because sort of I'm thinking like, so he's got my two grandkids on board when he's going out into the channel with this thing. I'm thinking let's get a new one. And he didn't want to get a new one. He wants to save the money. And so I actually said to my partner, okay, I'm going to Skype Alex now and I'm going to sell him a brand new engine. I actually said that. I'm going to sell Alex a brand new engine. And that's what it was. I did. I sold him on the idea that it was worth getting a brand new engine rather than throwing good money after bad, essentially. And yeah, this is literally
But I
it's
like the fact that you recognise that that is precisely what you was doing.
yeah.
And but what a lot of people don't realise is that that's what they're doing. But then they
Mhm.
say, oh, I don't like sales. I'm not very good at sales. And it's like, well, if you've ever persuaded anything to your way of thinking, no matter what it is, you have done sales. It's a
But the
natural
very
part of any job.
yeah, but at the very bottom of it is really that core belief that what you're doing is the right thing, isn't it?
Yes,
That really comes back and back to it. Selling is always a good thing if the person who is selling it is actually this believes this is true, which is very different from selling some rubbish and pretending that it's great and lying to people. And I think this has happened to people, and that's why they're so reverse to selling and being sold to as well. I mean, this goes two ways, doesn't it?
it does.
Um, but yeah, so how does the energy work play into that? That's where I'm interested.
Well, I guess you've got all the aspects of dealing with the sort of beliefs that they may experience. So many people have come to me. I've done lots of one-to-one work as well as some group work over the years, and so things like fear of rejection can come up quite often,
Oh yeah.
and and actually that can go quite deep and quite old. Um, this fear of rejection.
I
So
have got to put my hand up here and say hallelujah to EMO. Rather
yeah,
than digging in childhood trauma, when somebody comes up and says, I got this terrible fear of rejection, what do? We say, okay, when you think about that, where do you feel that in your body? Show me with your hands. And they go, oh, it's here, and it's here, and it's here, and it's in my stomach, and it's just everywhere. And we don't have to go into some like 30 years psychotherapy waffle about God knows what. And hallelujah for that. I'm sorry, I just this burst out of me just at that moment
it's
when you said
true. It's
person
true.
has fear of rejection and it goes deep. Yeah, deep into the energy system.
It's quite,
Not
you're 100% right, because sometimes when people come with that, they're like, and I know where it stems from, and it's blah 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 blah. And it's like, hold on. We don't need to. We don't need to go. We can just send this energy back through time and space, not just to your childhood, but let's just go back even further and all the way forward as well, and just
Yeah,
see the whole dynamic of it.
yeah.
But yeah, that's
So
nobody listens to me. That's another good one. Nobody listens to me. Um, and then, it obviously this sort of, I don't like selling, but I think what happens is when you start to clear these beliefs with a person, you can see, it's like if you imagine like you're filling up a battery, you can see their life force growing. And with that, their obviously their energy is growing as well. But they're starting to put out into the world a whole different vibration of themselves
yeah,
that,
and
it's like a sparkly presence as opposed to this
I'm going to
stuck
just put up
presence.
our little Sue scale here. So when we're talking about energy and sparkly presence and all the rest of it, we are not talking about some old esoteric nonsense from a dusty scroll of the ages. We're talking about real life energy states, emotional states.
Yeah,
And when we're sort of going up on the energy chart, we do our energy system becomes stronger, it becomes literally more noticeable.
yeah,
And when it goes really high, they say things like, oh, you've got such a glow about you, or you're looking very healthy, or that pregnancy glow that people talk about. And that's just a side effect of the energy rising. And
yes,
likewise, when we're going down on the energy chart, we become grayer, more invisible, more scared, more introverted, more, I wonder what they're thinking about me. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And so what we're talking about here, this is what I call the science of love. These things are predictable, they're measurable, they're not esoteric. This is human behavior, simple human behavior. So what we're trying to do is we try to get people on the positive side of the energy chart, because
yeah,
when they do, they start to wake up
yes, yeah,
and they start to become more themselves. They become more intelligent, more resourceful, more and more persuasive. People
more
believe them
creative.
more.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
it's true, and because you're more creative, people look at attraction marketing, and but do think that they have to just sit in their own homes, and especially homes at the moment, and suddenly these opportunities are just going to come out of nowhere, like birds are dropping like little parcels outside your house, but
Can I tell my
actually,
funny story at this point?
yeah,
We had a person who was looking for clients and they couldn't get any. So they started moaning and crying, I can't get any clients. Meh," which already is an indication they're on the wrong side of the modern energy chart. They're in negative territory and nothing good comes of this. But anyway, so my response to that was, okay, let me have a look at your marketing materials, see if there's something we can help you with that jumps out and to make it better. And so this person responded with, I don't do marketing, I magnetize. And I was like, oh, fuck. So you're sitting on your ass in the lotus position, imagining becoming rich. And I'm sorry, that's just not going to work. It
no,
doesn't work. It doesn't translate into real life activity. There is um there is I'm going to bring up a modern energy chart here, if I may.
hmm,
Right, so the modern energy chart, I don't know how well we can see this, but there is a little guy there, an orange guy with a shovel. Can you see that?
yeah, I can see it, yeah,
Right. At +3, you might have some good ideas. But in order to make these ideas into action, you need more energy. You need to get up out of the lotus position. You need to pick up the phone. You need to make a website. You need to talk to people. You need to do something in order to translate these ideas into some physical reality. And that is why our little guy there at plus 5 thereabouts, he picks up his shovel. He starts to work in physical reality. And without that step, if people don't have enough energy to take that step, nothing will or can manifest. It won't. The knight in shining armor will not come. The boat will not come in. The lottery will not be won. Nothing good will come of it. You stay in this dream zone where just nothing happens. And then
Yeah.
you get people who sometimes have enough energy to do a bit of work, but then there's something bad happens. Somebody says no, and they slide right back down the energy chart. And so it's not consecutive. The work is disrupted. The work is spurious. There's gaps in it. It never gets to a point where the work can build up a standing wave. And so there you get these people who start business and fail, and start businesses and fail, start businesses and fail, start businesses and fail. And if they only knew how energy works, this would not have to happen to them.
Mm.
You know, I just wish more people knew this about, about the nature of human behavior and so on.
It's so
So
true what
you're
you say.
working with some people individually.
Yes, but like if I look at last year, for example, last year was a very interesting year, and it required a lot of energy for creativity, for personal change, for adaptability. It required a very different way of working potentially,
Yeah.
disruptive home lives, all sorts of things, overwhelm, you name it. There's all sorts of things going on. And I work full time with my husband now, and that took some energy work to work that out as well, where our strengths and weaknesses are. But we've kind of figured that out now. But last year, we just really worked on our energy, and we had such an incredibly creative year. Just like amount of websites we created, ebooks we created, social media opportunities, and live events, and all sorts of things throughout last year. Because you don't quite know what's always going to work, so you've just things out there, and just be your own authentic self, and just put that energy out into the world. And if you keep doing it consistently, instead, with
Consistent.
love, and maybe with a thought about what it is that you're looking to achieve, then enough of it's going to work. But you can't just sit there twiddling your thumbs and expect it to come to you. Attraction works when you put yourself out there with energy and love, and like moths to a flame, people see your light. And
Can I
people,
put up my pre-prepared diagram?
yes, please do.
This is it's hilarious, but it is the truth. Here we go. Right. How sales work according to the modern energy chart. Below zero, you are chasing the clients with a butterfly net. And the lower in energy you get, the more pathetic and pointless it becomes. Until you get to the point at -8 where you're like, oh, please give Gil another lick of the sherry. Please buy from me for the love of God. And there's just nothing as unattractive as that. On the other side, this attraction factor becomes active, and it becomes active around about the +5 mark. That's when it becomes active, not before that. You're not attracting people by sitting doing nothing and dreaming. You need to make a website. You need to put out advertisements. You need to make videos. You need to do something so that real people can really, really, come to you. God damn
Yes.
it. This is my greatest bugbear with the lovely people from the Mind, Body, Spirit department. There is a time for making a plan. There is. And there is a time for thinking and there is a time for magnetizing. And then there's time for action. But in order to do that, we need to be energy higher. And on this diagram here, our energist is standing at +7. And this person is coming to bring them a big bag of money. This is attraction in action. And the higher you shift that person up on the energy chart, the bigger the bags of money become. And this is measurable. This is direct cause and effect. This is not dreaming. It's not hallucinating. This is how it works. So it's really about trying to get as high as possible on the energy chart. And we call that your happiness matters. It's important that you should be happy. And this is a happiness scale, isn't it? And this takes us back to what we said. You need to love the product. The
Yes.
product itself needs to inspire you. It needs to help you. It needs to be a part of that high energy performance. Because if the product's crap and you're sitting there and trying to raise enough energy by yourself with a crap product, which is going to always drag you down, it's just not going to work. You're not going to get to +8, 9, 10.
No, you absolutely need to be. You need to be in love with what it is that you're doing. It's a product, or it doesn't matter what product or service it is.
Doesn't
Now,
matter.
I'm working with physical products that are an energy dynamic in themselves, really, because I give it from my heart with love to another, in the hope that energy dynamic, that product helps that person feel better. Then what you have is a win-win scenario, because they feel better. That means they're feeling great, and you find out that you've helped them feel better, and so you feel better. And then they know that you feel better, which makes them feel better. And then you've got this, everybody's feeling better.
You've got an energy thing going on there. Yeah, you've got a wonderful energy thing going on there. And so many people, I mean, this thing with wanting to help people is very, very human. It's a very human thing. And if you've got something that really does help people in whichever way it does, a good outboard motor helps people.
Yes.
Really does. If it's easier to start or uses less petrol or it's less bad for the environment, it doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's a positive contribution that's going to help you raise your energy. And love the product, love whatever it is that you are selling. That's of the essence. And if you're selling yourself, then you have got to love yourself. That is absolutely non-negotiable.
And I think with like network marketing in particular, most people, I mean, there are good bad businesses and bad businesses in this arena, the same as there are in every single arena. That's one thing people must realize, that you get good massage therapists and bad massage therapists, good gardeners and bad gardeners, good plumbers and bad plumbers, good energists and bad energists, and good network marketing companies and bad network marketing companies. But if people have aligned themselves with a good one, and I hope and truly they have, then usually people don't actually take it further into the business side unless they have fallen in love with the product. That's the thing about it. If you ever meet a network marketer, be a bit kinder, because actually, they just genuinely have fallen in love with the product or service. Sometimes it's a service that they are sharing, and they just want to tell you about it. So it's an interesting thing. But we're talking about bags of money. I did an energy clearing in this group that I've started, where we do live energy work on a Friday. And this particular energy clearing was on this person's belief about wealth, because she had a belief from, wherever it came from, that wealthy people are arrogant, self-serving, not very nice people. And she had a fear of losing herself and her identity if she became wealthy. And she thought, on her logical mind, she knew that was utter rubbish. But the other side is like, yeah, but the thought of getting wealthy, she was feeling like, all of
Yeah.
these
An
feelings, like,
energy, an energy thing. Where do you feel
yeah.
this in your body? Show me with your hands.
And she actually said, even telling you this, I'm feeling embarrassed. Well,
Mm.
what's embarrassed if not a blockage of energy rising
Yeah,
up
some, yeah,
the
yep,
base?
yep.
So anyway, we cleared it in about 15 minutes, which was absolutely wonderful. She'd obviously come to the table deciding, that's it, I'm going to be free of this thing. And I always say to people, what we're looking for is an evolution in the situation, and we don't quite know how far it's going to go.
Oh, it's a step on your path.
It is. But for her, it evolved quite far. And so much so that she messaged me the next day. She said, Kim, she said, I was doing my accounts, digging out some receipts from a purse. And she said, there was a wad of cash in my purse. And she said, I have no idea how it got there because I haven't seen anybody, to do any cash sales or anything like that for months and months and months and months. So I don't know how it got there. And it's like, that's modern energy for you,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, she must have hidden it from herself so that she wouldn't think that she was a rich person with money, which would have caused her to feel bad. This is
Yeah,
not, it didn't magically manifest in her purse. A
exactly.
previous aspect got the money, put it in there, and then chose to forget it because it'd be too painful to remember, which is absolutely, oh dear, that's energy blockages for you, isn't it?
Yeah,
We have a
yeah,
saying in the GOE, the more you have, the more you have to give. Now,
yes,
this applies first of all to energy. If you are energy rich, then you have lots of energy to give to other people. If
yeah.
you are energy poor, you become an energy sucker. You suck up the air in the room, you suck up the attention, you become this black hole that will never be satisfied, and it gets worse and worse the lower down the energy chart you get. And so, we've said this before, we human beings want to help others, we want to give to
Yeah.
others.
That's a
And
phrase
so
I use.
this principle of the more you have,
The
the
more you
more
have,
you have to give also applies to money.
it
If
does.
you have no money, if you are totally poor, you've got nothing. You've got nothing to give, nothing. Not to a beggar, not to a friend, you just got nothing. You got nothing. But if you got loads of money, you could do all sorts of
Do
amazing.
amazing, yeah. Well, wealthy and healthy people do good in the world,
Yeah.
basically. If you're healthy of mind, healthy of body, healthy of spirit, healthy of energy, and you're
Mm,
wealthy along with that, then you're going to do a lot of good in the world.
of
That's
course you
really what
are.
it's down
And
to.
and and do say to your people, the more you have, the more you have to give.
Yeah.
Hold that in mind, both for energy, for money, for everything else. If I've got 50 apples, then I can give away 49 apples. If I've got no apples, nobody gets any apples.
Yeah.
It's very powerful blockage because when people often have money and power and energy and love all snaffled up in this weird sort of thing
Mm.
of misery, this ball of misery. But when we get back to basics, to this thing like the more you have, the more you have to give.
It's
And the
very true.
happier you are in yourself, the more you have to give. It's beautiful, it's simple. And so all we have to do is find ways of making ourselves happier more often, taking out blockages to happiness, and have a life where we love what we do, love talking about what we do, yeah, and just be happy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
And I
all
think
about.
that's what we've created with the team spirit as well, because I think that's another aspect of
Oh
it
yeah.
is the teamship. Because where people have difficulties outside, in their personal life, they're dealing with grief or depression or sadness or anger, anxiety. Stuff happens. Let alone business. Your stuff happens around you in your personal life as well.
Yep.
Unexpected things that go woof straight in, and you're like, whoa. And the thing with having such a supportive team or network around you is that there are so many people that are there to, you can almost see it like a massive outpouring of energy. It's like someone in the team, has had a really tough time about something, and you can tangibly see it, where there's this outpouring of like, let's pour energy into this poor soul and help this poor soul
Right,
lighten
right.
their load. And it's like the expression of love. I mean, people that come into this team, they've never experienced anything like it. It's such an incredible feeling that it's almost hard to describe it. But all I can say is that when someone is going through stuff and you've got 100 or a couple of hundred people pouring light into a situation,
Yeah,
it makes a tremendous difference to that
it does,
person's
yes. And
situation.
look, see, that's again, your people are energy higher than your average people on the street who are being
Yeah, they have
terrified
surplus
by
energy
abuse
to spare.
and what have you. And the more you have, the more you have to give
Yeah, yeah,
to each other. Um, and it's an upward. People below zero on the energy chart can't make good connections with other people. They can't get in rapport with other people. In order to, and that's so you got a person that's low on the energy chart and a therapist who tries to stay on the good side, and they're trying to sort of bring them up the energy chart, the old-fashioned therapist sort of. And yeah, so lost the plot here. Oh yeah, the couple bubbling. When two energy high people come together, the rapport between them is on a completely different level. Their outgoing energy systems sort of say hello to each other and they start to connect and they form a couple bubble. And this is how people fall in love. But we also have group bubbles. And a group that it consists of high positive energy people. I'm not talking about a crazy raging mob at -7. A group that is made of high energy people is a fantastic experience. And I believe that's what we humans were built for,
yeah.
that we exchange information, exchange energy, that we're not this lonely island. Wow, So yeah, and so you've got a Facebook group for people who are doing network marketing.
I have, because it was like it's one of these situations where we took some time off over Christmas and New Year, to just kind of like relax, and the brain relaxes a little bit. And I got was doing a lot more chance to meditate and yoga and things, and just sort of give my own self some healing too, which is
Yeah,
necessary, of course. And it was during this moment that when you get one of these like energy downloads from your sort of project sanctuary, you get your energy downloads, woof, idea, and you can see every last part of it
yeah,
and how
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah,
all going
yeah.
to come together. And I started thinking about this idea, and the more I started thinking about it, the more excited I got, and the more I felt pulled towards it. It became not just an idea, but you've got to do this. This is
Yeah,
important. This is
cool.
important work. This is
Hmm.
needed. This is necessary. You must get this done. So I thought, right, okay, it literally felt like this must happen. And so it's come to my attention over the years of being in network marketing that there's a lot of poor souls out there that don't have this kind of energy work. And,
All of them, all of them apart from your guys.
yeah, they must
Because
struggle.
people just don't know about this stuff. They just have
Yeah,
never heard of it. They don't know how it works. They don't know how wonderful it is, how simple, you know.
exactly. So this group is called the Spirit of Leadership for Network Marketing.
Cool.
And the group is for anybody of any network marketing or direct sales business. Actually, anyone in that arena, doesn't matter what company they are, because we're not talking about companies or products or services. It's about the business and the relationship that we all have with
Person.
the business itself. So
Yeah.
anyone in any sales arena actually could benefit highly from this group. And so I've designed it so that we have a weekly topic. where we sort of look at different concepts around that topic. So, for example, the first week we had the topic of love,
Yeah.
and that brought up, and we looked at aspects of our business that we absolutely love, easy peasy, love that. But then I said, okay, well, let's have a look at the flip side of the coin and the aspects of your business that you don't love, the icky, sticky, don't like doing that kind of parts of the business. And then we did a live energy work on Friday with a group member. And people were able to follow along, even from the recording, they could follow along with their own stuff. And we actually did the rainbow connection, where we connected
Cool.
the things they loved with the things they didn't love, and got a whole different thought chain around that.
Beautiful. I love it.
Completely.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many beautiful modern energy techniques that we can employ to make people feel better and get them, the main thing is for people to realize where they are, where they're at, and to learn themselves at last to realize that when, like, I, for example, start going like, oh, I wonder, I'm too old for having a successful YouTube channel. Nobody wants to. Does anybody still want to listen to an old boomer? And to realize that that's not a question. And the only reason I'm thinking that is I'm so low on energy that I've become the little green man with the question marks over the head, starting to doubt myself. And to understand that you wouldn't think that on a good day. On a good day, you just go, well, hey, I'm going to make a new YouTube video. I'm going to help lots of people. This is a really important topic that I want to talk about. I'm not sitting there going, oh, I wonder if anybody wants to listen to an old boomer like me. That's just sign of low energy. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean anything about me. It doesn't mean I need to go into therapy or pull the roots of my childhood trauma related to old boomers, in brackets, which didn't exist when I was a child, close brackets, at all. There was no such thing as boomers when I was a child. So
Mm.
it's nonsense. These are questions we don't need to worry about because they disappear like the mist when the sun rises. As soon as we move up on the energy chart,
Yeah.
they just disappear. They're not beliefs we even have to treat. They just go, boom, they're gone because you're now. And you were saying earlier, being yourself. What does that mean? Well, it just means being energy high.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
That's who you show who you really show who you really are.
That's our optimum state of being, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what, when I think about people joining my team, or the people I'm working with, the people I sponsor, I just think about their divine perfection.
Yeah.
Their, I think,
Creative
at
template, as it
a
were.
table, I just visualize them as their perfect selves,
As their plus 10 self.
their plus
Yes.
10 self. Yeah.
We get, after a bit of practice as modern energists, we get to do that. We can calculate that person, even if they're lying down on the floor crying, we can calculate back to what they would be like if they were really at plus 10.
Yeah.
And that's really quite interesting. And by us knowing that and seeing that they're capable of that then helps them, you know, not
It's
believe
like
it too,
somebody
but
having
reach up to
that.
that, reach up to
Yeah.
that.
Exactly that intention, or just seeing them as their best self, just looking, not looking at the shadow side that they might be presenting, but just seeing them as their best self.
We
And I
need
think
that we really need that as a goal as well. We need to
mm,
keep that in mind. We need to keep reminding ourselves and each other that we can do better, and it's not hard. You don't
yeah,
have to have a personality transplant. You don't have to have plastic surgery. You don't have to win the lottery. What you need to do is be happier more often. Become aware of when you are starting to feel uncomfortable in your physical body. That's your energy body trying to tell you something.
yeah.
And work with that in this happy spirit of, come on, people, let's just raise some energy. Let's do something beautiful, something that feels good. that makes us happier and brings us at the same time closer together, which is just awesome. It's just awesome. Is modern energy. It's lovely.
It
It's an
really is.
awesome thing, you know. It's I'm starting to like it. So what I wanted to ask you was, so you've been employing the modern energy way of dealing with emotions, blockages, reversals, uh, fear, questions in this very real world context of network marketing with your team.
Mm.
How has the effect of that been compared to people who don't do that?
Well, I guess it's hard to say because I'm not the person who doesn't do that. But you know, what can I say? It's that it has enabled people that I think I guess one of the things is that it's enabled people that have joined this business that we are in together to get in and stay in, and that is why I've worked with people for a very long period of time in this business, and so together we have had huge success really as a team. I think
Yeah.
because you're not one of the things I see in this industry is people skip thinking that skip to this company, this company, this company, this company, and I think that's sometimes where they come to us with some previous damage, let's say. But I
Yeah.
say that our what we are is a spiritual home for beaten up network marketers. That's what we are.
Oh.
We are the
Oh.
spiritual home for beating up network marketers, for beating up people, just to come and experience business done in a beautiful way, a totally heart centered way. And it's business, it's all aspects of business that we do
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
And it ricochets because, each person sometimes does this as a second income stream to a primary income stream. And of course, for a lot of people, that primary income stream got completely cut last year.
Yes.
So therefore, having a second income stream was a very, very useful thing. But um, some people are doing it alongside another income stream, and of course, what they experience in this business, is ricocheting
Transfer.
out
Yeah,
into
of course.
so they're getting these secondary benefits. I love secondary benefits, which go into their families, with their children, their partners,
Yes.
their other business, their other life, as well as being in this team. And we've got big goals. I mean, the team is turning over around, $80,000-$90,000 worth of business a month at the moment.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
that's real money.
oh yes, yeah, and we're looking to turn that around to around $200,000 a month by the end of this year,
Cool.
um, and keep going from there.
Ah,
And it's a wonderful win-win scenario because you're
well, it is.
elevating so many people within the organization, that everybody is financially benefiting in their own ways, energetically benefiting. The list goes on, really.
See, this is the bit that's missing, isn't it? The energy knowledge is the bit that's missing from the world,
Yeah.
but also especially from the business world, and within the business world, particularly from the world of sales and marketing.
Mm, mm.
There's just oh man.
And there's
And
lots of training out there for how to's,
yeah,
go,
but they're
especially
not ever hitting the central core, which is how people are actually feeling. And
yeah,
because of those feelings, that drives their behavior and therefore their real world results.
yeah,
So this is when people think energy is wishy-washy, it isn't.
yeah.
It creates war, it creates love, it creates everything that people do. It's
And
absolutely
see,
central to the way, to everything we do. And well, I love the idea that you are going to be not just a home for the beaten up network marketers, poor things, but when you said that, I thought about our dog training club when we first started. At that time, all the owners were told that they had to choke their dogs on chains. They had to hit them with riding crops and with hose pipes filled with sand. in order to make them sit and stay, and it was really horrible, and most dogs didn't like it and didn't work that way. And we started with a home for beaten up dogs,
Mm,
really. And yeah, and then we went and won all the cups and trophies in all the competitions when we turned up, because we worked with attention, with intention, with love,
yeah,
encouragement. We just did it right, basically.
yeah,
And I believe that do energy work, adding energy work is the key to figuring out how to do it right
yeah.
without hurting ourselves more, without having to, do anything other than a bit of bloody energy awareness. A little
Mm,
bit of energy awareness goes such a long way.
it does. It does.
Okay, Kim. So I'm going to put a link to your group
Thank you.
into the comments under this video. Please contact Kim if you have any questions or you'd like to know more or anything really. I'm sure you'll be delighted to hear from people.
I'd be delighted to. And to be honest with you, any therapists listening, there's a whole market of beaten up network marketers there that could do with your help on a one-to-one basis. So more than happy to have a conversation with anybody that's not just thinking of going into the field, but thinking of helping people within the field. So
That would be wonderful. And as we said, it's not just network marketing, it's all sales, it's
yes,
all
yeah,
entrepreneurs, it's all business.
yeah,
And at the end of the day, it's even your profile on Tinder. That, it is a very essential thing. Okay, that was absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much. I absolutely love your concept of having this sanctuary for poor beaten up marketers salespeople who can come back to their senses literally and
yeah,
start growing and expanding and raising and healing their tattered wings so that they can, be
yeah.
uplifted by the wind beneath the wings of your community. I think it's absolutely wonderful. So thank you very much for your time, Kim.
Thank you, Sylvia.
I'll give you the last word. What would you like to tell people before we go?
Just that there are so many things you can apply energy work to, so don't limit yourself, just apply it to everything and everywhere. It's been an absolute gift, and I'm really delighted that our paths have crossed. Sylvia, thank you.
Oh, and I'm delighted that you're back with us and doing the things you do. They sound exciting and really, really needed in the world.
Yeah,
So thank you very much. If we've come to the end, congratulations for having given us your attention. Please like and subscribe for more videos to help the channel. And I'm looking forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you very much. Goodbye from me
goodbye
and
from
good
me.
see you soon.
Thank
Bye
you.
for
Bye
now.
bye.